Welcome back. Today is day 7 and we're in yin heaven. So this is going to be a yin practice, which basically means that it's going to be focused around long, deep stretches. So we'll be getting into our positions and holding for 2 to 3 minutes each. And we're going to start in a position called a lizard pose. So to begin, just come onto hands and knees. And we're going to step the right foot forward outside the right hand. And hands are right underneath the shoulders here. And if that is already quite intense for you, you're welcome to bring your hands up onto some height, whether that's a block or a cushion or even a book, thick enough. And if you need to support under your knee, you can also place something underneath your knee. Another way to have a sense of more space in this position is to just angle the toes out about 45 degrees. And just depending on your hip anatomy, that might be more comfortable for you anyway. So once we're set up in the position, then all we need to do is be aware of the sensations that we can experience moment to moment, as well as being aware of the breath. If the stretching sensation becomes unbearable, if it's uncomfortable, then please do what you need to relieve that discomfort. If you come into a position and you aren't feeling anything, then you're welcome to modify and bring yourself a little bit deeper into the stretch. So if that's where you're at for this one, you can always come down onto your forearms or bring the forearms to the floor or to whatever support you're using. But with yin, we want to move slowly into the deeper variations. We're allowing our body time to open up. And this being the first position, right into the hips. Just want to take some time. You might even close the eyes and just really draw the awareness to your body, into the breath. And once you've arranged your physical position, see if you can become really still for as long as you can. So we're taking away any fidgeting. And the more still we can become with the body, the easier it is to bring stillness into the mind. And take another 10 breaths here. Making the last few breaths a little bit deeper. And if you're down on your forearms, just slowly bring yourself up onto your hands. And then we just bring the right knee back to the floor. And if you feel the need to, you can take some movement of the hips side to side or back and forward, maybe into child's pose, just to release through the hips a little bit. And then we do the other side, so left foot steps forward outside the hands. And just noticing how it feels on this side, taking any props that you might need, any support that you might need. And always the option to angle the toes out about 45 degrees. And in this position, we want the back to be flat, so there is a gentle engaging through the core. And the shoulders draw back as the crown of the head extends out forward. And then we're looking for a stretching sensation. We never want to lose integrity through the joints, particularly when we're working through the hips. So rather than allowing your pelvis to drop down and sink down toward the floor, keep a gentle pressure down through your left foot and a drawing in from your left knee, pressing down into the hands. so that there's a little bit of lift in the pelvis, so the pelvis is supported by the limbs. And normal for the arms to start to feel a little tired here. See if you can just be aware of those sensations. Knowing you've got another 10 or so breaths here. Awareness on the breath. Starting to make the breath a little deeper and longer for the last few cycles. And getting ready to come out, so those of you on your forearms, you can come up onto the hands. Start to lift and push the hips back as you bring your left knee to the floor, and then we just sit back onto the heels. So we're coming into a position called Vajrasana, or hero's pose. So there's a few options with how you do this, and that's just going to depend on what you feel through your thighs, through your knees, and maybe even through your ankles. So if you've got quite a good stretch happening through the legs and the knees, just sitting here on your heels, you're welcome to stay here. If it's too intense, you're welcome to sit on a cushion between your heels and your bottom, or maybe you need something between the tops of your feet and the floor. If you're looking for a little bit more, you can take your heels out to the sides and either sit your bottom down all the way to the floor, but if the floor seems quite far away and inaccessible, you can always bring something between your bottom and the floor, and you're always able to adjust the height of that. So set yourself up in whichever variation of Vajrasana works best for you, and maybe close your eyes or just set your gaze at a single point on the floor. And first just being aware of the sensations of the stretch and the position that you're in. So this one's really good for opening up space around the knees and the thighs. It's also really good for digestion, this one. Making sure that your spine is long and lifted here. So there's a sense of the tailbone lengthening toward the floor and the top of the head lengthening toward the ceiling. But making sure as well that the shoulders are relaxed. Just a few more breaths in this one. Maybe making these final breaths deeper. And then we'll just take the legs and extend them straight out in front. So you might just take both feet over to one side and reach them straight out in front. From here, just coming down onto the back. We'll take a twist from side to side, so bringing the hands into a T position, bringing the knees up and together. Taking a deep breath in at the center, and then as you breathe out, drop both knees to the left. Try to keep your right shoulder on the floor. And you can always use your left hand outside your right knee, just guiding the knees, the legs toward the floor. So we're holding here for about 15 breaths. Noticing where you feel the twist in your body. breathing into the twist. Last few breaths, releasing your left hand to the floor and then bringing the knees back to center. If you need to, you can give them a quick squeeze in. And then moving to the other side. So breathing in at the center and breathing out both legs over to the right. Pressing the left shoulder now into the floor and the option to bring your right hand outside the knees. You can keep your head centered, or you might turn your gaze to the left hand. And again, just notice where in your body you feel this twist. The last few breaths. Releasing right hand down, breathing in to bring the knees back to center. Breathing out, gentle hug in. And then coming into Shavasana. Relaxation, extending both legs long, bringing the arms down beside you. Closing your eyes. And take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, so just in your own time. Last inhalation, filling the body, filling the lungs, and releasing the breath all the way out. And continuing to breathe through the nose, but allowing your body to, in a way, breathe itself. So you're letting go of control of your breath, as you also let go of control of your experience. And just become the observer or the witness. Rest here for a few more minutes, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 8.